Lord Ayappa is the Hindu god worshipped mostly in the southern part of India. Ayappa is also known as Harihara Putra, which translates the son of both Hari, that is Vishnu, and Hara, that is Shiva. He is known to be born out of the union of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, who was in his only female form Mohini. This explains his divine powers, which are a combination of the powers of both Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. The world famous temple in Kerala, Sabrimala, needs no introduction. It is dedicated to the worship of Lord Ayappa, who is also called as Manikantha. Mahishi was the sister of the Asura named Mahishasur. In her previous birth, she was the wife of Dattatreya, who was the incarnation of the Trimurtis. Over her actions, Dattatreya once cursed his wife Leelavati to take birth as Mahishi, as the sister of Mahishasur. After birth, she was made the queen of Asuras. In my previous video, we have learned the tale where goddess Durga killed the deadly Asur Mahishasur. The death of her brother left Mahishi furious that all the gods have plotted to kill her beloved brother. In anger, she began to perform a tapasya to please Lord Brahma. She asked a boon that a son born to Shiva and Vishnu should only kill her. She asked this boon because it was impossible for a son to be born to Shiva and Vishnu, as they were of same gender. We have seen in my previous video where we learned how Lord Ayappa was born through union of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. The gods placed the baby near the banks of the river Pampa and left to heaven. Meanwhile, King Rajashekar, who was the childless king of the kingdom Pandalam, was up for a hunt near the river with his men. They then hear the cries of a baby from somewhere near. After searching, they find a beautiful and divine baby boy. It is believed that at this point, a saint appeared and addressed King Rajashekar. The saint asks him to take the baby to palace, and that when the child turns 12, he would know the divine reason and his history. Saying this, the saint disappears. The king then takes the baby back to his palace and explains how the baby was found to his queen. The royal couple was delighted as they had been praying to Lord Shiva for a baby and now they were blessed with a baby. The kingdom was happy to have their heir at last and everything prospered with the arrival of Ayappa. He was named Manikantha. Soon after, King Rajashekar adopted Ayappa, his own biological son Raja Rajan was born. Both the boys grew up as princes. However, Ayappa grew up to excel at martial arts and Vedas, while the Guru himself was surprised at his abilities and other extraordinary talents. He suspected of the divine nature of Ayappa. After the completion of his studies under his Guru, Ayappa was to offer Guru Dakshina to his Guru. The Guru tells him that he himself was blessed having such a divine child as his student. Knowing that Ayappa was a divine child, his Guru makes a request to Ayappa. He asks him for the blessing of sight and speech for his blind and dumb son. Just as Ayappa placed his hand over the head of the Guru's child, he was blessed with vision and speech. Such were the powers of Ayappa. Out of their two sons, Ayappa and Raja Rajan, with Ayappa being the eldest one, King Rajashekar decided to crown Ayappa as the next king. However, one of the ministers did not want Ayappa to be the next king. He goes to the queen to poison her with bad thoughts. He says that she herself had a biological son and he should be made the next king and not Ayappa. Together they planned to get Ayappa killed. The plan was that the queen had to fake an illness, to which the only cure was supposed to be drinking tigress milk. Ayappa was to be sent to the forest and who would then be in danger from the wild animals present there. The queen then cried out loudly, as advised by the minister, faked a severe stomachache and a headache. The plan went on well and Ayappa was sent to bring the milk of a tigress. The king makes arrangements for the departure of his beloved son. Although Ayappa refused to take any troops with him, he was sent with enough foodstuff and coconuts with 3 eyes in the remembrance of Lord Shiva. He is to have entered the forest for the divine cause that he was born for, the death of the Asura princess Mahishi. He then fought a fierce battle with Mahishi and threw her down from the Devlok. From there, she fell on the banks of Azuta river. They clashed again at the Azuta river. At the end of the battle, Ayyappa climbed up on the chest of Mahishi and danced fearlessly. Mahishi then understood the divine power that was dancing on her and realized that he was none other than the son of Hari and Hara, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva themselves. She realized that it was her end and died. Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu witnessed this scene from a place Kalakatti and were pleased that Ayyappa, their son, had killed Mahishi and freed the world of her atrocities. After the avenge of Mahishi, Lord Shiva appears and told Ayyappa that Lord Indra would accompany him as a tiger. Manikanta sat on the tiger and went to the palace. Seeing the flock of tigers entering the palace, the royal family was terrified and understood the divinity of Manikandan. On seeing this, the queen and the minister confess of their actions and realize the divine identity of Ayyappa. After this, Ayyappa disappeared from the scene. However, the loss of his son had left the king in despair. He would not eat anything until his son returned back. The king realized the divine nature of Ayyappa and constantly requested the Lord to forgive him for his behavior. He stood praying for the mercy and blessings of Harihara. The king asked him to direct him towards the path of moksha, free from the worldly ego. However, Ayyappa told the king that since his life mission had been accomplished, he would have to return to heaven. The king requested Lord Manikanta to allow him to build a temple and dedicate it to him, and the Lord agreed. Ayyappa shot an arrow that fell at the top of Sabarimala and told the king that he could construct a temple at Sabarimala, north of the holy river Pampa, and install his deity there. Ayyappa also explained how the Sabarimala pilgrimage shall be undertaken, emphasizing the importance of tapasya, vratam, and what the devotees can attain by his darshan. He then blessed the king and all others assembled there and vanished. The king duly constructed the temple at Sabarimala, dedicated to him. When the construction of the temple was completed, Lord Parshuram sculpted a figure of Lord Ayyappa and installed it in the temple on the day of Makar Sankranti. Sabarimala in Kerala is the most famous Ayyappa shrine, visited by over 50 million devotees every year, making it one of the most popular pilgrimages in the world. At the temple of Sabarimala, it is believed that Ayyappa has established a strict religious code of conduct to receive his blessings. First, the devotees would have to observe a 41-day tapasya before starting their pilgrimage. These devotees should further maintain abstinence from physical pleasures and family ties and live like a brahmachari. Moving on, the devotees have to walk through their path on foot, bathe in the holy river Pampa, and finally climb up the 18 stairs to reach the Sabarimala temple. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe to our channel for more such content.